You're watching CBS 17 continuing coverage after Florence.
It was exactly 5 nights ago that the first rain from Florence arrived here, and tonight the last of it is leaving. Good evening. I'm Wes Hohenstein. Thank you for watching CBS 17. Now, we've been dry for some time, but unfortunately our friends on the coast got another batch of heavy rain with thunderstorms tonight. That rain is now leaving the state, and it will be gone from the state for several days now. And it might be a stretch to call it cool tomorrow morning, but it's going to feel pretty good as you start your Wednesday. Sunny skies, dry weather, temperatures upper 60s, around 70 down in Fayetteville. And by lunchtime, it'll be warm, low 80s here in the Triangle, 85 in Fayetteville, but the humidity will stay low. I'll tell you how long all this will last, and we'll give you the very latest on all our area rivers coming up a little later.
Everything appeared to be okay when we came back, and then that's when my nerves are all shot right now, and I just want someplace safe for my family.
People that live near the river told us that they remember just seeing trees standing here at this location just this morning.
The threat far from over for thousands in central North Carolina.
Tonight, our crews are monitoring the rising rivers, leading to even more rescues and road closures.
Sun lighting up the Carolina blue skies today only helped paint the devastating picture of the damage Florence left behind.
From washed out interstates to rising river waters, today CBS 17 joined the governor and the National Guard in the sky over central and eastern North Carolina. Good evening, I'm Marius Payton.
And I'm Angela Taylor. Thanks for joining us. Tonight, we know the death toll from Florence sits at 33, 26 of those in North Carolina. More than 1,100 roads remain closed, many of them in the eastern part of the state, including stretches of 40 and 95. First responders have reported more than 4,000 rescues. President Trump is expected to visit the Carolinas tomorrow.
The immediate threat overnight, flooding in communities along the Cape Fear and Neuse rivers, both expected to crest overnight. CBS 17 has crews spread across central North Carolina tonight, monitoring the situations in Harnett, Lee, Chatham, and Wayne counties. But we start with CBS 17's Amy Cutler in Fayetteville, monitoring the Cape Fear River, which is expected to crest tonight. Amy, are people listening to the warnings?
Well, Marius, at this point, most appear to be. This, of course, is a Person Street Bridge just behind us. It is blocked off. Police are not letting anyone on it. Meantime, check out the Cape Fear River here. You can see how high it is. It is causing many roads around here to flood. This is a swollen Cape Fear River from the air. Cumberland County posted this video. It shows homes and businesses underwater. It's now so high it reaches the train trestle by the Person Street Bridge. Debris piling up on both sides. The county says since Florence hit, they've had to rescue 134 people and 13 animals.
And everything appeared to be okay when we came back, and then that's when and we don't like feeling trapped.
Alicia Pineset says she heeded the evacuation orders and left the Eastside Green Apartments off Cedar Creek Road. She tells me she returned today. She thought she was okay. Then just hours later, her and her children were trapped.
My nerves are all shot right now, and I just want someplace safe for my family.
It's kind of weird how it happened because I didn't see this at first.
First responders also helped get a man back into the complex to get medication he'd left behind. The Cumberland County Sheriff posted this video of a horse being rescued from the floodwaters. NCDOT closed the Person Street Bridge tonight. A section of I-95 that goes over the Cape Fear River is also blocked off. The county says more than 1,200 people are staying in shelters.
Water started coming up in where my apartment was at so bad to where I said I'm going.
And the Cape Fear River continues to rise. Back out here live looking at the Cape Fear River. It is now higher than it was during Hurricane Matthew. It is expected to crest at 2 a.m. tomorrow. Meantime, Fayetteville and Cumberland County have both lifted their curfews. Live in Fayetteville, I'm Amy Cutler, CBS 17 News.
Amy, thank you. And further up the Cape Fear River Basin, rising waters at the Deep River Bridge on the Chatham-Lee County line created traffic issues all the way back onto US 1. CBS 17's Zach Dahlheimer continues our coverage from there tonight. Zach.
Well, Angela, it's sites like this where you can't even tell if this is a river or a road. Right here I'm standing on is Highway 42. Right behind me you see there is a railroad crossing with road closed signs in this area. Now, where we're standing, actually, the water has receded a little bit since we first came out here about an hour ago. Standing on the other side of the street, my yardstick measured about 2.5 inches of water. Right where I'm standing, you can see a little bit. The yardstick is measuring here at 6 inches of standing water here at this spot. Now, people we've seen here living throughout homes have had flood issues all around their homes and throughout their neighborhoods. People are also in Chatham County keeping an eye on the deep river as water levels there continue to rise.
It's definitely something that's getting in the way of a lot of people's lives.
Drew Daniels says he and his family have been dealing with this, flooding from Florence all around his Indian Creek Estates home and on roads throughout the neighborhood.
We've been doing a lot of detouring to get to, for everyone to get to our jobs. Lots of detouring.
Those tree limbs were actually straight up.
The same goes for Donna Demarest, living near the Deep River in Chatham County. She says she's had to leave her home 4 times during the storm.
It's actually been pretty scary out here with the river being adjoining to the property.
This is pretty historic flooding associated with this storm.
Assistant County Manager Dan LaMontagne says they've been monitoring the rising river. Officials also closing routes, including the 15501 bridge.
A lot of the debris is piling up behind this bridge. As the water continues to rise, this could overtop, and we're concerned. We don't want this to get compromised.
While keeping in contact with those impacted in areas like Daniels.
That the Deep River is backing up into those neighborhoods and cutting off some of those families. So our Sheriff's Department, our deputies, our fire department have been checking in on them, well-being visits to these people, staying in constant communication with them, evacuating ones that wish to, but the ones that are staying are implementing their home emergency plans.
While those like Daniel are trying to move on after Florence.
I'm a little uneasy, but honestly, all I can do at this point is just wait and trust that the right things are getting done, hope that the right things are getting done.
Now, when we last checked measurements just roughly around 9 o'clock tonight, measurements at the Deep River in Chatham County came in at around roughly 13.5 feet. The flood stage for that river is at 9 feet. Now, county officials say they've also had an alert system calling people around the area just to keep them informed and safe, and they also have a boat ready just in case of any rescues. We're live in Chatham County. Zach Dahlheimer, CBS 17 News.
Zach, thank you. And check out this new drone video tonight from Lumberton. A teacher there shot this. You can see water is everywhere. The lifelong resident said, quote, he was visually overwhelmed, so please excuse the movement. And in Wayne County, all eyes are on the Neuse River. DOT had to close down parts of NC 117 today ahead of the expected crest there.
Officials lifted the curfew in place there, but as CBS 17's Colleen Quigley found out, it doesn't mean conditions are ideal for returning.
I'm standing on NC 117, and you see the water here from the Neuse has flooded the road and all of these businesses behind me. Officials tell us they do not think they'll have to close this road entirely, so that's really good news to the folks who live around here. A lot of them telling me they're relieved, saying that the flooding from Florence was not as bad, at least in their mind, as it was during Matthew here in Wayne County. For days, all eyes in Marmac have been on the Neuse River, because neighbors here know that with a hurricane comes floods, putting roads, homes, and businesses underwater.
Dennis and Floyd back in '99, Matthew 2016, and now it's Florence.
The road to Pete Matovic's house is closed because of flooding. Pete and his wife were forced to evacuate during Hurricane Matthew, so they voluntarily left before Florence. But fortunately, Pete says this time his house did not flood.
Relieved, but my wife and I are thinking, you know, why do we stay here for another couple of years?
As the Neuse continued to rise Tuesday, it pushed water into this mobile home park on Old Grantham Road. Firefighters say most of the people who live here already evacuated. Adrian Flores says his home was spared, but many of his neighbors' homes were not.
I'll be sorry for everybody living down there and their houses, they lost everything.
The chief of the Marmac Volunteer Fire Department wants to remind everyone you should still be extra cautious when you're driving around and do not go around any barricades indicating a road is closed due to flooding. Reporting in Wayne County, Colleen Quigley, CBS 17 News.
Colleen, thank you. A similar story in Harnett County where rising waters are forcing crews to close roads. But as CBS 17's Curtis McLeod found out, there's a new problem delaying recovery efforts.
County utility crews have been working pretty much all day to repair a waterline break here on 27 West in Harnett County caused by flooding. Now, this is just one of several roads that are closed in the area, roads that are now dark paths to those who rely on them. But in the dead of darkness, light to lead the way.
Anybody stuck here, we're trying to help them as much as we can.
The Super Safe store and gas station has become a big help to those blocked by road closed signs because of flooding and a waterline break. Store owner Sam Al-Ghazali.
And that's the only road connect this area between Sanford and 87. So a lot of people stuck right here in the parking lot asking for directions.
The Super Safe parking lot, a point of refuge, so to speak, for so many people who are confused about how to go around some of the closed roads here in this section of Harnett County. The owner, Sam, here tells me he's happy to help people the best way he can.
Some of them, they stuck for like 1 hour yesterday here trying to ask directions.
It's kind of pretty hectic because you don't really have many places to go.
Bonita Blue lives in the area and often uses 27 West, but tonight she won't, and possibly not tomorrow either. With other roads closed in the area because of flooding, she says getting around the community is hard.
You can't go to Spring Lake, you can't go past West Harnett.
But while some of those paths remain dark, Sam says he'll be right here, lighting and leading the way as much as he can. Officials tell me that the repairs here will take about a day or so. Until then, of course, they're asking everyone to heed these warnings, pay close attention to these signs, do not cross these barriers. We're in Harnett County this evening. I'm Curtis McLeod, CBS 17 News.
Today, Governor Cooper flew over the areas hit hardest by Florence.
He also had the chance to meet with storm victims on the ground prior to the president's visit tomorrow. CBS 17's Maggie Newland has more on his message to victims and the first responders.
From a National Guard helicopter, Governor Cooper got a look at the damage Florence left behind. From the air, you can see just how much water still covers parts of our state. Roads, fields, entire areas still flooded. But along with the devastation, the governor says he saw resilience.
To see the spirit of North Carolinians and the fact that they are fighting this and are so frustrated to be out of their home and many without power, but to see the enduring spirit is heartwarming.
In Wilmington, he stopped at a shelter and the Emergency Operations Center.
Glad we could help. Yep. We're glad you're here. Yep.
He thanked emergency managers, volunteers, and first responders who've rescued so many people trapped by rising floodwaters.
Talking to people, they're telling me how they got rescued, how grateful they were.
Crews have come from all over the country to help, and the governor greeted as many as he could with a handshake or pat on the head for the search and rescue dogs.
Doing a good job out there.
He tried to encourage those who came to pick up supplies.
You guys hang in there. I know it's no fun.
The recovery is just beginning.
Even as we speak, rivers are rising in parts of our state, and search and rescue is still happening. We're going to make it through this. We just got to depend on each other and make sure that we work together for the good.
And the governor says there are teams here from 32 different states, as well as federal response teams, all helping us out here in North Carolina. Angela?
Some amazing images there. Maggie, thank you. For the past several days, we've shown you the damage and told you the stories of those impacted by the storm.
Next at 11, the new before and after pictures of the barrier islands and the long-term impact Florence will have on the coastline. Wes.
Guys, can you believe our friends at the coast got another round of storms tonight? I'll tell you how much more rain they got. I'll tell you when rain will be back in our forecast with that weekend cold front. And I got a super sunset I think we kind of deserve. I'll show you that in a few minutes.
And rushing to higher ground, one animal advocate's all too familiar rush to save his four-legged friends in more ways than one.
And as we go to break, a way for you to help those in need right here in Carolina.
You can text Florence to 90999 to donate $10 to the American Red Cross, which goes to Florence relief efforts. The donation will appear on your cell phone bill.
Rivers continue to rise.
Look at it. The water is literally washing this motel away.
I've never seen it nowhere near this.
If we won't back home, I mean, I don't have a home now.
Devastating, man. I don't even know what to do now because it's frustrating.
I know for many people, this feels like a nightmare that just won't end. I know many people are tired of the present and are scared of the future. As distressing as this damage is, it's equally heartening to watch neighbors helping neighbors and see volunteers and people of faith stepping up to do their part. This is the North Carolina that I know in my heart, and it is the reason we will make this state whole again. Please know we will not give up on you.
Wilmington was one of the hardest hit areas in the Carolinas today. People slowly making their way back into town came back to a main street that appeared to have little exterior damage.
Shops, restaurants, and businesses are still boarded up, and as you can see, some glass in the streets and the signs dangling. Today, the mayor announced there are 2 routes into the city which are now open, but they will take some extra time. I-40 east to exit 373 to 903 west to 421 south, or I-40 east to exit 385, then 41 west to 421 south. A viewer sent these photos tonight from Morehead City. This is where our Brandon Truitt reported from over the weekend. You can see downed trees, rising waters, and damage to the outside of their homes. Town leaders allowed residents who evacuated back home today. And volunteers in the northern part of the Outer Banks are helping move dogs from a flooded shelter. Scott Bailey used to work at the animal shelter and wanted to find a way to help care for the animals that usually don't make it out. His foundation gives those cats and dogs a new home. The water started rising at the Currituck County shelter on Monday, so he started moving them out. He said he went through a similar experience during Hurricane Matthew and did not want to put the animals at risk again.
Probably one of the most sickening experiences I had. It was I felt like, I actually felt helpless. The dogs were kept falling off their beds. I had stuff underneath of it to keep them afloat.
Oh, look at that. Volunteers spent the past 2 days moving the animals to a shelter on higher grounds.
And take a look at this before and after pictures taken from the sky of the Barrier Islands. NOAA says the after photos you see were just taken today. The biggest impact at the New River Inlet and the northern point of the Topsail Inlet. West, that is incredible to look at.
And to add insult to injury, guess what happened to our friends on the coast tonight? They got another round of heavy rain with thunder and lightning, so it hasn't been a fun night for them. Remember, they still don't have power. Some of them don't have roofs. They still have water in the roads. They got 20 to 30 inches of rain, and then look what happened earlier tonight. I'll let it run through one more time. Strong storms, most of which stayed offshore. Thankfully, they avoided us, but not a fun night for them. Let's look at some of the rainfall totals. I mean, 1 to 2 inches from around Wilmington to up the Emerald Coast, closer to Atlantic Beach. So good news is, there is no rain in the forecast tomorrow across the entire state. On top of that, we'll see some sunshine and we'll have lower humidity. Now, it's still going to be warm, but we'll take what we can get at this point. 68 degrees is how your Wednesday morning starts. We'll jump up to 73 at 9 a.m., low 80s by lunchtime, on our way to a high of 88, which is, I know, close to 90. It's also above average for this time of year, but sunshine, dry weather, low humidity, all things we need right now. And I think we needed this too. You know, I try to show super sunsets that you send me every night at 11 o'clock. This one was from tonight. You know, technically, you could argue that these are the last clouds that Florence was wrapping around our area as the sun is setting. Carmen sent this to me from Dudley. Dudley's in Wayne County, one of the spots that got 20 inches of rain. So beautiful shot tonight. And I will point out that, you know, fall starts this weekend. Our days get shorter. The sun is setting right now about 7:15. So technically not a trackable system, but this is the last time I'll show this as the leftovers of what was Florence combined with a cold front and now pulling off up toward Canada. But boy, what a track it has taken over the last 5 days. Another F-named storm that we will gladly retire and push behind us for as long as we can. So here's the surface map. So there's the low pressure, there's the cold front that unfortunately kind of fizzled out before it got here. But more importantly, this area of high pressure will build in over the next several days, and with the help of a little northerly wind, give us dry weather, sunny skies, and lower humidity. But it doesn't last forever because it scooches out of here this weekend. Saturday is going to be kind of a transition day. We'll have a small chance of rain, mostly dry though, and then we'll wait on this cold front. This cold front will kind of turn horizontal on us, which means it's going to weaken and not really make it through, and we'll have a small chance of rain Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. But tomorrow, no rain. We've got upper 80s though with low humidity. 87, 88 along I-95, and here in the Triangle we'll go about 88 degrees. Want to run through some of the river stages, some of which are falling, including for you guys in Lillington, the Cape Fear. It's at 18 and change right now. It'll go below flood stage Thursday night. The Cape Fear in Fayetteville is cresting right now. It'll go below flood stage this weekend. Over on the Neuse River, first in Smithfield, 16.5 right now. It's crested, it's going down. It'll be below flood stage tomorrow night. And finally, the Neuse River in Goldsboro, cresting right now, will fall below flood stage as we head into this weekend. So we get past tomorrow and we'll see improvements everywhere. And this helps. Dry weather through Friday, decent amount of sunshine. We'll bring in small chances of rain this weekend. Technically, it's the first weekend of fall, and hopefully we can get out and enjoy some fall weather. But I tell you what, average high this time of year is now mid to low 80s, and we're not going to be there until next week. But dry weather, couldn't order anything better right now.
All right, Wes, thank you.
So we're switching gears from Florence to championships. Jeff Jones joins us now with sports.
That's right. And guys, not one, but two local teams had national championships on the line tonight. We'll tell you if the Durham Bulls or the NC Courage will bring championship trophies back to the Triangle. Plus, a former Tar Heel has teamed up with the guys on this year's squad to give back to those in need. We have those stories and more straight ahead. Welcome to the Honda dealers of the Carolina Sports Desk. Tonight was championship night for one of our local teams. For the second year in a row, the Durham Bulls earned a spot in the national championship game. And for the second year in a row, they line up against the Memphis Redbirds. The Bulls pulled off a win in this matchup last year, but would they make it two in a row? Well, it did not look that way early on. Top of the third, Memphis sent a two-run triple off the wall. The Redbirds went up 8-zip before something good finally happened for the Bulls. Jason Coates sent an RBI double down the line, but as you might expect, it was too little, too late. The Redbirds would win this year's championship. Final score, 14-4. To soccer, where the NC Courage were forced to give up a home playoff game due to Hurricane Florence. Instead of hosting the Chicago Red Stars last Saturday, the two teams met for a semifinal showdown tonight in Portland. Regardless of where the game was played, the stakes were the same. A win earns you a spot in the championship game. A loss would mean the end of the season. And it's clear that Jess McDonald was not ready for her season to end. Just 5 minutes in, the former Tar Heel netted the earliest playoff goal in NWSL history. And if you think that was nice, take a look at this. Sam Mewis with the shot from about a mile outside of the stadium. Of course it went in. That's what Sam Mewis does. Home, away, neutral site. Guys, it doesn't matter. When the Courage step on the field, they're going to win. They got the W tonight, 2-zip, and will play Portland in the championship game this Saturday. Down in Florida, the Hurricanes opened the preseason against the Lightning, already up 1-zip, and some nice teamwork led to a Lucas Walmart goal, then up by 2, and this year's first rounder showed why everyone is excited about him. That's everyone except the Canes' future opponents. Andrei Svechnikov with his first goal as a Cane. The local guys get the preseason win. Final score 4-1. To football, where former Tar Heel team captain Kevin Riddick is trying to help victims in our state recover from the devastation that Hurricane Florence left behind. Back in 2012, Kevin was a key leader on the field. Now the NFL free agent hopes his connections can help him be a key leader off the field in his hometown.
We all know New Bern was hit very hard. Kevin's from New Bern.
And so we're going to try to put together as much water and Gatorade. That's what he's looking for because he wants to transport it over to New Bern and to get it out to the people that have been affected.
Take a look at this. The Tar Heels have invited fans to help fill this 18-wheel truck with water, Gatorade, and other goods that you see fit. If you're interested in donating, you can help fill the truck from 7:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. tomorrow in the Williamson Center parking lot. We'll be right back after this.
Roll down the windows on the bus in the morning as you hop on. It'll be in the upper 60s. Little warmer in the afternoon. You're going to want that AC working. Temperatures about 88 degrees. We didn't have AC on my buses when I was a kid.
We didn't.
Not at all.
No, I don't think so. We'll be right back. I mean, we'll see. Have a good night.